My fellow Americans, over the last 2 weeks, the major political parties have convened their conventions, crafted their platforms, and crowned their nominees. Many of those familiar with my campaign have asked when my convention will be and what party's nomination I will accept. My friends, my party is you, the American people. And we have our convention every day a man or woman goes to work, every day a man or woman goes to school, every day a man or woman just sits at home and does nothing. Tonight, many of us have gathered here in this spirit of competitive Americanism, and in that spirit, tonight I am honored to announce that I accept your nomination as the people's candidate for President of the United States. Now, some of you may believe there is no need for an independent candidate, that the two major parties are doing such a great job, you don't need an alternative. And my friends, if you believe the Republicans in charge of the administration and the Democrats in charge of Congress have America on the right track, then by all means continue to support those candidates. But if you agree with me that America deserves better, that America can do better, then I invite you to hop on board the Shane train and become a Shaneac. Now, some of you may think it's unfair to lump the Republicans and Democrats together. You think they represent a different point of view. Well, there is a difference. The Democrats love to tax and spend, and the Republicans love to borrow and spend. But whoever's in power, we all know who'll pay for it in the end, you and me. Well, I say it's time to make them pay for it by hitting them where it hurts. Not in the eyeball, but at the ballot box this November the 4th. 2 weeks ago, the Democrats gathered in Denver for their convention. Barack Obama gave a great speech, claiming to represent change. But if you listen closely, it was just one more Democrat promising more federal programs, more federal spending, and higher taxes for the so-called rich. Those styrofoam pillars he used as a backdrop are the perfect symbol of his ideas. They look good on the outside, but at their core, there's just nothing to them. I will concede that if reading speeches off a teleprompter is what qualifies you to be a great leader, then Barack Obama's face will already be carved on Mount Rushmore. But my friends, in the middle of the night when that presidential hotline rings, there'll be no teleprompter to read, no cue card or crib notes to read off of. When that day comes, you need someone who doesn't have to think. Well, my friends, I won't think about what's on a teleprompter. I won't think about what the polls say. In fact, I promise I won't think at all. Barack Obama portrays himself as the great American success story, raised by a hardworking single mom and loving grandmother. Well, so was I. But Barack Obama spent his formative years in Indonesia and went to college at Harvard. I spent my formative years in a small town near Lexington, Kentucky, home of the UK Wildcats, the winningest college basketball program in American history. And I didn't attend an Ivy League school. I went to a junior college, and it took me 4 years to get through it. Whose story is more representative of the American people? Exactly right. My friends, I come from the kind of humble origins all our greatest presidents have emerged from, like Andrew Jackson and Harry Truman and Jefferson Davis. Last week, the Republicans held their convention in Minneapolis, and John McCain claimed that he represented change, and he does. He was against tax cuts, and then he changed, and now he's for them. He was against drilling for oil, but now he's changed and he's for it. He was for amnesty for illegal aliens, but then he changed, and now he's against it. So yes, he represents change, the kind of change a chameleon represents that changes its colors based on the needs of the moment. But when John McCain is no longer running for president, what assurance do we have that he won't change again and return to his true colors of wishy-washy republicanism?
None.
John McCain thinks he's qualified to be president because he has experience in Washington. Calling John McCain experienced is like calling a fossil an antique. He's been in Congress longer than we've been alive and represents the calcified policies of a generation of government mismanagement. Now, my friends, on October the 7th, John McCain and Barack Obama are scheduled to be right here in Nashville for a debate on the campus of Belmont University. It just so happens that on the very same day I will be teaching a Bible class for some older ladies at Morningside of Belmont, an assisted living community adjacent to the campus. I hereby challenge John McCain and Barack Obama, right after their so-called debate, which will be nothing more than a beauty pageant at a press conference, to walk right next door and face me in a real debate about the real issues facing real Americans. And I promise you, my friends, if they accept this challenge, I will beat them like a drum. I will make John McCain wish he was hiding in one of those 7 homes his wife owns, and Barack Obama wish he was in that hut in Kenya that his brother owns. Now tonight, my friends, I have a special announcement. Tonight I'm announcing my running mate, my good friend and advisor, Joseph Kirkpatrick. When I think about Joseph Kirkpatrick's tremendous qualifications, I know you will agree with me that the vice presidential candidates of the other parties, Joseph Biden and Sarah Palin, are simply no match. You can tell a lot about a person by their hair. And based on that criteria, Joseph Biden is a complete phony. The man is bald, and yet he insists on combing his hair over and back to disguise his baldness. Joseph Kirkpatrick is unashamed of his increasingly receding hairline. He keeps his hair short and neat. He doesn't try to be something he's not, a man with a full head of thick, beautiful hair, like me. But Barack Obama had to choose Joseph Biden because he knew he didn't have the qualifications to be president on his own. I know that many people were excited about John McCain's choice of Sarah Palin as his running mate.
Yeah.
My friends, do you think it's a coincidence that just days after I announced my plan to sell Alaska to pay off our national debt, that John McCain picks the obscure governor of the state of Alaska to be his running mate? That is the most pathetic display of political pandering I've ever seen in my life. But my friends, it will take more than lipstick and high heels to camouflage John McCain's record of mushy moderation. Unlike John McCain, I didn't have to hide behind the skirts of some Eskimo lady to run for president. I picked somebody I couldn't hide behind if I wanted to. 14 months ago, Sarah Palin was mayor of a town in Alaska that probably has fewer people in it than are in this room right now, and yet John McCain has selected her to be his running mate, to be in the position a heartbeat away from leader of the free world, a woman whose foreign policy expertise consists of a few trips to the International House of Pancakes. But my friends, I can say with absolute confidence that if something were to happen to me, Joseph Kirkpatrick is every bit as qualified to be president as I am. Joseph has more executive experience than any of the other major party candidates. He was president of his senior class in high school 3 straight years. And he has tremendous experience in debt counseling, making him perfectly suited to face the great financial crisis of our time. And so, my friends, it is my great pleasure to announce to you tonight, my friend and your next vice president, Joseph Kirkpatrick.